All right, man. We are on. We are on. I should probably thinking. Let me see what this news record one. Which one was it? Was it news full screen? Yeah, we could leave it on that. Let me move this up here. We'll leave it on this one for now. I don't know why it's like wide. There we go. Put me down there. All right. Then we'll go to the news record. Will be that one. Okay. News full screen. All right. Hopefully we get some homies in here. Alert box, chat box is there. Let me let everybody in the stream know we're going live. Let everybody in the Discord. What up, Guap? What's good? Dímelo, City Van Hunter. Baby K, what's good, man? We got some interest. We got an interesting live stream ahead, man. Hella interesting live stream ahead. Vice is out there. What up, Vice? Hella interesting live stream, man. Anonymous TV just made a live stream reacting to our video. What up, Jaron? What's good, man? Appreciate that, Van Hunter. James Williams was good. So yeah, Anonymous TV was just live streaming on Twitch. We got the homies in here, by the way. Let me let everybody in Discord know that we're live too, because we're all gonna share our thoughts on the live stream that Anonymous TV just had. And he just had a live stream dissecting the video that I posted today. So if you guys haven't seen that video I posted today, it was in reference to the drama between Anonymous TV and Ronnie 2K, and Anonymous TV and Poor Boy Sin. Salute to both of them guys. We finna get right into it. Let me just post this link in the Discord. Zidandara, word up. Shout out to Anonymous, man. Shout out to Poor Boy. This is your first live, Irene. Appreciate you being here. We finna talk about it, man. We finna talk about it. So we're gonna start this. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the drama. If you know, what up, Alvi? What's good?
Let's go, Coachy.
If you guys are familiar with what's going on between Poor Boy Sin and Anonymous, if you're familiar with what happened between 2K and Ronnie 2K mainly, but 2K and their relationship with Anonymous, you guys let me know what's going on. What up, Maz? What's good? I think I want to start with the first tweet. Start the react, bro.
Let's go, Coachy.
All right, so
Yeah.
initially, I guess it was Anonymous was talking about how 2K recycles old ideas they removed from the game, whatever.
And by the way, that's something that I personally have been saying this for the longest time. 2K recycles old ideas and introduces them as something new. I've been saying this for a few years already.
I mean, they doing it this year with the Jordan Challenge, so I mean, it's just facts,
Big facts.
But all right, so I guess Poor Boy was not feeling his negativity, I guess. And he says, not gonna lie, you've been bugging lately, bruh. Chill out, it's just a game, and the community ain't gonna change. Enjoy the game for yourself and care less about what the community thinks or wants. Learn the easy way or hard way, but you hurt in my timeline.
You know, that's scary. That's scary, man. That's scary for me to hear. Now, when I make the video, like when I made my video, I try to keep my initial emotions at bay. And I'm gonna explain in just a second. I just want to make sure there's no I have this automatic focus thing on my webcam, and I want to make sure it's not going into autofocus. Let me just put that back, apply. Okay. I don't know what you guys hear. What up, Ryzon? Yes, thank you, Alvi. Appreciate that. What up, Blaze? What's good, man? Appreciate y'all being here. But I don't know what you guys, how you receive a statement like that. Heck, can we get you to read that one more time?
Sure.
Appreciate it, bro.
He says, "Not gonna lie, you've been bugging lately, bruh. Chill out. It's just a game, and the community ain't gonna change. Enjoy the game for yourself and care less about what the community thinks or wants. Learn the easy way or hard way, but you're hurting my timeline."
Hey, let me say the first, and I'm sure of the homies that are in here with me in Discord will definitely agree with this, and maybe even a lot of y'all in the stream. Now, trust and believe, I am not trying to start NBA 2K23 like getting into drama with other content creators. Like I said in the beginning of this live stream, salute to both Poor Boy Sin and Anonymous TV. Now, my personal feeling is never will I ever be okay with another man publicly. That ain't my uncle. Like, you ain't my uncle. We barely know each other. Never would I be okay with another man trying to teach me a lesson publicly. It just wouldn't go down like that. You don't see nothing wrong with him saying that. All right. So I understand that there may not be nothing wrong with him saying that. I could get the perspective, right? I could get that perspective that, hey, some folks, there's nothing wrong. He was trying to look out for him. And I get that. I think the general perspective and the general consensus is that this was done with good intentions. But sometimes good intentions are clouded. And in this case, I think good intentions are clouded because there was not enough of a relationship built for this one man to tell another man that he's basically crashing out. This one man to tell another man publicly in a DM would have been totally different. On a call would have been totally different. To send that public statement out there when both individuals have a tremendous following speaks volumes in itself. You guys let me know if I'm wrong about that. When the man
take that as disrespect.
Yeah, right? You take it as disrespect, no?
Highly.
Yeah, because we're both content creators. How are you going to tell me the content that I'm creating is wrong, but the content you're creating is right? I made the decision to create content. And one thing that I've learned throughout the years in creating 2K content is that people are really respectful. The content creators with a good amount of influence, they're real respectful of other influencers within the 2K community. So we know that when something is done like this, if it's not done in a DM and it's sent out publicly, like Yah said, you initially would take that disrespectful. I'm a content creator. You take pride in what you do. You're passionate about your game. You're passionate about the game that you create content on. Now, the issue at hand here, which we'll get to the next tweet in just a second. The issue at hand here is that one man thought he's doing the right thing in regards to maintaining a relationship with 2K, in regards to maintaining a good standing in 2K's eyes. And then one man thought that the other man was doing wrong by voicing his opinion or frustrations with the game. And I think that's okay. If you guys are viewers, you're like, hey, City, I don't like his content. City, I don't like he's too opinionated. It's different for viewers to say, hey, I don't like that he's doing that. But when another influencer with a large following puts out that statement publicly, that's when it becomes a major issue. Can we get into the next tweet? Hey.
Yeah, so Anonymous replies and he says, "Bro, no way you tweeted at me talking about how you're talking about your timeline instead of unfollowing. Want to make sure you good this morning, G." And Sin replies, "I tweeted at you to give advice that you've been bugging. Take it with a grain of salt. Not here to down you."
So, and I like I said initially, I think this was sent out with the best of intentions, but intentions are clouded because you're getting influenced by 2K. man to man, you know you don't do that type of stuff, bro. You don't go out and announce. You don't go out to your homie, he's doing something wrong you don't like. You don't go out in the middle of the projects and yell, homie, this dude is doing wrong. You don't even go to another man and talk about that man doing something wrong, let alone thousands upon thousands of people. So because they didn't have a relationship, and I think in regards to Poor Boy, I think he realizes they didn't have a relationship like that, so he just sent out the public statement just trying to let him know you crashing out, bro. Chill. But was it crashing out? Because he's sharing his thoughts and opinions on the game. Do I be crashing out every single year? do I crash out when I talk about Ronnie 2K coming to my house and almost getting beat up by my little cousin with one leg shorter than the other who walks in circles? Is that me crashing out? Nah, come on, man. The way one man does content is the way he does content. I think Poor Boy, I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth, but I think Poor Boy saw that after, the response that he got from Anonymous. Now, we just saw Anonymous's live stream, which we're going to get into in just a second, because Anonymous dissected the video that I posted earlier, which we're going to play off as well. Did Sin and Anonymous have a friendship already? I think he definitely have crashed out. I think they had a relationship, but I don't know how serious the relationship was. That's like we both own pizza shops and you try to tell me what food I could sell. That's how I kind of feel too. I think judgment was like the judgment call on sending out those tweets was clouded by the idea that we don't want to bite the hand that feeds us. Mm-hmm. What? I think there's a difference here. There's workers and there's leaders. There's workers who go into the office and understand like workforce, like your rights within the workforce. And then there's other workers who go into the workforce and say, I'll do whatever my supervisor tells me to do. What? What if he said, what he has you getting lunch for him every single day? You finna do that? What if he says shine his shoes? What if he has you clean the bathrooms when it's not in your job description? There's workers and then there's leaders, managers for themselves. You feel what I'm saying? So no matter if you go into the workforce as an employee, you're still responsible and manage yourself. And that falls within your rights. You don't lose your rights just because you're a subordinate. You feel what I'm saying? So I think that's the problem that we're seeing here. One homie's like, chill, don't get the supervisor mad, B. Nah, chill, you don't know. He finna fire you, bro. The problem that I have with this on top of everything, which is what I wasn't sure about when I made the video and what Anonymous kind of cleared up, I wasn't sure if these regular dudes who just go into the Next Maker program or these regular dudes who get logos, I wasn't sure if they were getting a bag or if that bag was set aside for the larger creators for 2K. And Anonymous clarified saying that bag, ain't nobody getting no bag. So if I'm not getting a bag and you try to tell me the supervisor is going to fire me if I don't chill, I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? My bag is coming from my work as a content creator. That's how I would feel initially. I don't know if that's the case, but that's exactly how I would feel.
Sometimes you got to speak up for yourself.
Hell yeah. Yeah, and it's worse because you're already a boss. You're already a boss. You're managing your YouTube channel. You're managing your Twitch channel. You're managing your social media presence. And that presence wasn't created by anybody else but the creator. So then after you develop yourself to a position where you could be recognized by 2K, you don't just give everything over to 2K. Especially if you're not getting that big bag. In the video I posted earlier today, I made reference to the idea that if you're LeBron James and you get a sponsorship or an endorsement from Nike, then it wouldn't be in your best interest to talk poorly about Nike. In regards to this 2K issue, and making reference to this LeBron James analogy, there's a very huge difference here. Because LeBron James' presence is definitely going to generate tons, whatever shoes he wears is going to generate tons of sales. But then he's able to have this brand recognition that Nike has, and he's able to work with that brand recognition. One hand wash the other, like I said in the video. It wouldn't serve his best interest to talk poorly about Nike, but you work around. If you get a pair of Nikes that you don't like, you're not going to just send out a tweet and say, I don't like these Nikes. The difference that I see here in comparison to 2K and their relationship with content creators is that they're not giving out a bag like Nike's giving LeBron James. And if content creators were getting that gigantic bag, and I mean every single one that's involved with the logo program and things like that, if you got a logo and you was getting that huge bag, then I think more people would be inclined to chill. I understand. I would have been like, oh, damn, poor boy, good looking out. I was crashing out. I would have been like that. All right, good looking, pro. Yo, poor boy, send me a DM next time. But good looking out. I know it was done with good intentions. I'm really not trying to mess up this bag I'm getting. But the only bag you're getting is from the content that you create. It has nothing to do with 2K. Like 2K is literally not cutting you a check. Then there's an issue. And then there's a difference from that analogy there. So in the relationship between 2K and the content creators, it literally is one hand wash the other. Nobody has leverage over anybody else in their relationship. Neither one of them have leverage because 2K uses them creators for free advertisement. Not saying that they wouldn't generate sales without them. They'll just pick another creator. But I'm just saying they use their following to help generate more sales and encourage more players to get on the game. Those creators end up using 2K's brand recognition. One hand wash the other. Nobody has more leverage than the other.
Let's go, Coachy.
I don't know what you guys think about that, but if we can get on to the next tweet.
All right.
Speaking to their own community, Vice facts, man. 2K needs to be able to take criticism without getting butthurt. Before you read the next tweet.
Yep.
Guap Smoke said 2K needs to be able to take criticism without getting butthurt. And I think I can speak from my personal experience. I've never signed no NDA, non-disclosure agreement. I've never been put in a position to get closer to 2K, aside from them inviting me to join their Discord before it went public. 2K has never attempted to strong-arm me into influencing how I produce content. So in regards to this channel here, you guys know over the years, man, ton of criticism. And 2K hasn't tried to come down on me. Why is it that when you get closer to 2K, and I think I've created the content that has a lot of criticism in it about 2K. I think I've done it in good taste. So I'm not one of these wild boys out here talking reckless. So we know that to be the case, right? Does that mean, well, then you got Brutal Sim. Brutal Sim lost his logo. I don't know why. I wouldn't speak on why. That's that man's thing. I think 2K can take criticism without getting butthurt, but for some reason, those folks that signed their agreement and 2K gives a logo to, they're unable to speak with the same passion. Yeah, word up. Shout out to everybody in the chat.
Let's go, Coachy.
Say one negative thing. Man.
One little
They act
thing.
like
And it's sad because you think the tables can't turn. You know, one thing that I know about this social media game is that the comment you make one week will be forgotten about the next week. In this particular instance, from what I understand, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but Anonymous, basically the game is just a tool. From what I understand, Anonymous had some comments to say about 2K using older stuff generated, like introducing older mechanics as something new for 2K23. And from some of those comments that 2K deemed negative, they ended up on live stream attempting to embarrass Anonymous. There's his words exactly, just on the live stream when he was reacting. They attempted to embarrass him. Ronnie2K came on, told him close app. This time, it was close app to lose your logo. I think that was uncalled for and necessary. It seemed like bullying tactics.
Yup.
Mm-hmm.
I never respected bullies. I never liked bullies. There's a few dudes out there, and you guys know I don't play the tough guy. But there's a few dudes that got memories of knots, little knots, literally sticking out their head because of bullying tactics, and they remember that to be me. I never liked bullies, man. It's such an unnecessary way to be. So when you're this big, gigantic company, and you're the representative, or the man who says, this is who we're going to put on our team and this is who we're going to take off. Why would you attempt to attack somebody's bag because they have an opinion about the game that they pay for? That's one of the biggest problems I have. One of the biggest problems I have, y'all, is that these dudes don't even get 2K for free. They're not even receiving the game for free that they're making content for, and 2K is attempting to tell them or influence how to create their content. That's not good. Now, I could understand if... I don't think you get it. As Skrilla said, you tweaking, bro. 2K don't need YouTube creators. Man. Some people are dense. Some people are real dense. I'm not trying to knock
you know how much
y'all.
money YouTube creators make 2K?
YouTube is the new TV.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't think they get it. I don't think folks get
network
it.
TV no more, bro. Nobody
Yeah,
watches network TV.
I don't think folks really grasp it.
That build video that you went and watched, that you went and bought $100 pack so you could go make that glitch build you watched. The creator didn't help 2K none.
Yeah, I'm not, and I don't want to knock SDOT for saying that. I don't want to knock him for saying like, I get that 2K does not need YouTube creators, but we're not going to sit here and act like one hand don't wash the other. We're not going to sit here and act like the sales weren't helped, assisted by content creators and help that go on. There's a lot of game. How many of y'all in the chat actually come to YouTube creators, one of your favorite creators, and say, what do you think about the game? Because you want to find out. You have your favorite YouTuber, your favorite content creator, and you reference them in order to make the decision on whether or not you're going to actually purchase the game or what version of the game you're going to purchase. Please let me know in the comment section. Because I've gotten that question this year alone. I've gotten that question maybe about somewhere between 75 to 100 times just this year alone. And I've only been back about a week and a half, 2 weeks. So I'm not knocking y'all for not understanding the dynamics. And surely 2K doesn't absolutely need content creators, but it definitely does help. 2K has an endless budget. So they could actually go without content creators and just put that money into advertising. But then you go and ask yourself, so how come we still don't got new servers? How come we don't have new servers? Trillionaire said, clearly, one hand don't wash the other if they don't even get the game for free. They're straight using these dudes. So, let's talk about that, y'all. I appreciate that, Raphael. Let's talk about that. Because I think for some of these creators, there is a benefit to getting the logo. I think for some of these creators, maybe you'll get in line with other creators and be able to build a relationship, larger creators that you may not have known otherwise or connected with otherwise outside of this Next Maker program and things like that. That's not to say that if you don't build strong enough on YouTube, and normally the people within this program have built a strong enough following to make these connections. But I think it's like what 2K is trying to say is that it's a stamp of approval when you get that logo. It's a stamp of approval. We back you. Do we even need that backing anymore? As YouTube creators, do we need that backing no more? Like, do we even, isn't that, I know I personally don't need that backing from 2K. I don't trust and believe I don't want a bad relationship with 2K, but I want to be able to conduct myself as I see fit on my channel. So I don't know if we could get on to the next tweet. I'm trying to read some of the comments.
All right. So Anonymous replies. So how easy we did that? I get to keep tweeting, you unfollow and don't see my tweets. It's always the let me save the company ass dudes talking to me. All right, and then
yeah, I'm just gonna throw it out there. You know what? Because I was trying to remain unbiased about this situation, but all good advice. I was trying to remain unbiased, but man, I gotta tell you, in this situation, I'm just biased toward Anonymous. I'm not so much biased toward his reaction in the words and phrasing and how he reacted, because I would have probably handled it very differently. Who knows? Who knows? If I was Anonymous age right now, I think he says he's 30. If I was his age at 30, I would have probably crashed out. But we're very different in age. So at myself now, I don't, I would have probably just, hit me in a DM, my G, what you doing? Or I would have made a video very similar to the video I made, like, but I can't front. I like how Anonymous responded in a way. And I think that was because the disrespect was already established by sending out the tweet publicly in the first place. When you could have just unfollowed, when you didn't have to call me out. I could promise you right now that if I personally receive, not that I want it or I'm looking for it, but if I receive a tweet negatively about this live stream, nobody's getting no response. It's unnecessary. I'm not finna go back and forth like the homie said about a video game. I'm not finna go back and forth about a video game.
It's a waste of energy.
It's a waste of energy, but I think in this situation, it was principle. Why try to put me on blast? Why the homie try to put me on blast? I think that's where Anonymous is at. So 3 years really makes a difference, bro. I want to see Anonymous versus Sin in the wager. Maybe, who knows? Maybe that's what they're setting up here. Maybe they're setting up for the Ultimate Wager series in NBA 2K23. Who knows? You can't ever put it past, man. Creators are hella creative these days.
I was just trying to make itself look good.
Mm-hmm. I never liked like I said, the analogy I said earlier, like I mentioned, the analogy it's like one dude is in the workforce and he's like, chill, I'll do whatever the supervisor says because the supervisor said it. And then there's another dude that's like, what do you mean, homie? We got rights, though. Like, yo, I get a lunch break, my G. Nah, the supervisor said, no lunch today. Yo, folks are wild, B. Yo, you need to know your rights, man. You need to know what's right or wrong. And I don't know what's in these contracts. I don't know full extent of what's in these contracts, but I can only speak for how I conduct myself. Like, I'm not one who does a lot of cursing. I'm not one who say 2K is completely trash and F this game and yada yada yada. I'm not one who does that, but I share my experience thinking like, hey, there's a lot. If I'm experiencing this, then there's a lot of y'all out there, the viewers and the other players that are probably experiencing this as well. And then I try to like problem solve. So it's not just 2K, there's a problem. It's like 2K, there's a problem, and this may be a solution. So I'm not just complaining to complain. And I think that'll fall on deaf ears, especially over the long haul. I don't think, and I made a statement as well. I made a statement saying that there's not much longevity in content creation if you're just consistently, and that was the key word, consistently condemning the game that you're playing. So for instance, I'm making videos about 2K23. I'm live streaming every day about 2K23. But every single video, I'm like, this game is trash. I don't know why we even playing this crap. And then on live stream, I'm saying the same thing. This game is trash. I don't know why we even playing this crap. After maybe 1 or 2 weeks, you're going to be saying the same thing to me. And then you're going to stop coming. I can't imagine that you guys would want to maintain a relationship with somebody who's saying, it's like a dude with a chick. He's saying that she cheats on him, she hates him, and she treats him like crap. Your first response would be, then leave her. That'll be your first response. Leave her, homie. I'm tired of you complaining to me and you not doing nothing about it. The key word here was consistently complaining. The key word, the reason why that was the key word is because when the complaints take precedence over you and your, like, the content that you create. Because at the end of the day, we're still here playing the game that we've been playing for so many years. So I get the idea of sharing your frustrations. I get the idea of speaking on what other folks, your viewers, your community may be experiencing as well. So you could gain some common ground with those people because they're frustrated and you're like, hey, I'm frustrated too. And that's my perspective when I'm, live streaming with y'all. I say, hey, I know y'all frustrated because I'm hella frustrated as well. And then we could share some common ground on some of the things that we don't like about 2K. But that's all on the foundation that we love 2K. And I think that's what the key point that I think some folks missed in the video I posted earlier, especially Anonymous. He kind of missed it. I was able to explain it during his live stream. But it's consistently complaining that it takes precedence over your character, over your channel's character and personality of your channel. Because the foundation of what we're doing is we love 2K. We just want it to be better. That's like problem, solution. And I think if more folks took that approach, even when they're complaining, because, hey, I appreciate that, King Heaven. I think what some creators do is they want to challenge the monopoly. And trust and believe, I don't got 2K money. I'm not trying to challenge 2K money. I'm not trying to challenge them like that. No fear, but hey, I don't have the energy to challenge. Nah. I just want to make my content about the game I play. This is how we started this thing. We played a game, so we said, all right, let's start a YouTube. And like Anonymous was explaining, money came because you already played the game. Let's keep it on that foundation. If you keep it on that foundation as a creator, you'll be able to humble yourself. Let's keep it on that foundation and then make our complaints from that foundation. But I think some folks get it confused. And when somebody speaks passionately, they think that you're crashing out and that maybe you have lost sight of the idea that I love the game, homie. That's why I'm playing it. I'm connected to my audience. That's why I'm playing it. But, we're going to spend this little bit of time talking about what bothers me about the game. We have way better creators out there who make better 2K looking games and come out with better content and ideas. you can't discredit. Like, I don't like the idea of discrediting 2K. What up, Waju? What up, Walter? 2K has taken strides. If we were to load up 2K16 right now, you know how many of y'all would be complaining? But 2K is held in super high regard. Super high regard. Go ahead and load up 2K19 right now. You can still play it and you may have fun a day or two. By the week's end, you're like, yo, where's all the stores at? Where's the strip mall? And I don't mean like strip club type of weird stuff. I'm talking about like the strip of stores. A lot of you little freaks out there think it's something else. But
see, I have a hate relationship with 2K.
Yeah, and that's what we display, right? Love, hate. Love, hate. It's the only basketball game. There's going to be love, hate because there's no other option. We have options to play other games, but in regards to 2K and content creation and somebody who does it every single day, day in, day out, a video live stream, it's going to be love, hate. And if you experience anything else from other creator, unless they're finding more innovative ways to create their content, but if you're experiencing anything else from another content creator, then you're probably not getting the most authentic content from them. Their content may be influenced. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, that's not for me to judge. How a man gets his bag, that's how he gets his bag. How he wants, whatever he wants to stay true to, that's what he wants to stay true to. For me, if I spend hours in front of the screen, I'm like, and these freaking bright lights in my grill, I grow frustrated by the minute. So the bright lights in my grill, along with the trolls in the stream, sometimes you snap. Sometimes you snap, B, because you're getting authenticity. So when you get a weird animation on 2K, you get a canned animation, or you go off a dunk and you see your player just fall, and you got to wait 15 seconds before they get up, and now it's 5-on-4 on the other side of the court while you're still trying to get up. You know, those are things that you're like, come on, I've been playing 2K for too long. When you're playing 4 AIs in the rec center, and not to mention the same rec center for as long as I can remember, these are things where you might snap, but you're getting that from an authentic creator. You get what I'm saying? Freak, man, freak. Salute to y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. Heck, you got us lined up with the next one.
Yes, sir.
Let's get it.
So Sin replies to him calling him a save the company ass dude by saying, ain't nobody trying to save the company. You changed your whole persona to get a logo. Now that you got one, you want to talk down on the community/staff that helped you get one. Make it make sense, and you still play 22, and you def gonna play 23. And he follows up with a gif of a little girl from the coffee slapping her forehead.
Yeah, I remember that. Pretty wild stuff, man. I don't know Anonymous before logo. Maybe you guys could fill me in on the stream, or maybe the homies in here, if you guys know Anonymous for that long. Was he someone who, appreciate you, Aubrey, Blaze, appreciate you being here. Lax, what up, man? Was Anonymous someone who acted different to get the logo? Because I know one thing that we have never done on this channel, as much as they've been pushing me, like, yo, you got to get that logo, chill. Nah, it's not going down. Sorry. Go that away. I don't know you, man. Before...
I'm good. I said, if I have to change to get a logo, I'm good.
I'm good, homie. I've been saying that here on the channel. And it ain't like I'm not toxic. I know I'm not toxic. But if I understand 2K's perspective. I don't care that you're not toxic. For instance, just like our Discord community. Perfect instance, our Discord community. we have leaders in our Discord community. Now, if those leaders in our Discord community, now I'm really accessible and everybody else is really accessible. But if those leaders decided to take to Twitter and go on a rant about our Discord community, best believe they're not finna be leaders for more than 24 hours after that tweet. It's just how it is. So in other words, in regards to 2K and how they respond to creators like myself who may express themselves too freely, I understand why 2K doesn't want to show affiliation or association with me. Do you get that? Because I would do very much the same. But there's a difference in 2K in the idea that a logo, unless it's written in a contract that you cannot say anything poorly, and they should be extreme details in regards to that. Because your gaming experience and what you speak about 2K is two totally different things. You should be able to share your frustrations, your joys. That's part of content creation. That's part of building with a community. So I don't know how 2K connects with these content creators and what they uphold them to. But I don't think that sharing your opinion about your experience playing the game should, just like if someone came to me or someone in our community is one of the leaders in our community and they end up voicing in a productive way, voicing their opinion about some of the things that could be changed in our community, that would be something very different. I wouldn't remove someone like that. We'd have the conversation. We'd have a meeting. Things like this. We play because we love basketball, but we're not changing for the logo. That's just a logo, and we can't change anything in the game. So you work hard to get this logo. Is enabler and disabler at the same time. Shout out to Trillionaire. That was a great statement he made. Trillionaire said, but that logo is an enabler and a disabler at the same time. And I think what he's referencing is that it can enable you. It can enable you to walk through doors that you may not have walked through prior to getting that logo. But it's a disabler at the same time because then you're gonna have to curb your thoughts on the game. And by curbing your thoughts on the game, you may not come across as authentic as you would normally like to. And I think 2K is doing themselves a disservice because I turn into Britney Spears sometimes with these. I think 2K is doing themselves a disservice because I think it's just a short-sighted view to try to hush or silence somebody. I'm not saying that's what 2K is doing, but at least that's how some creators are feeling. I think it's a short-sighted view to try and hush or silence somebody, embarrass them in their own community, on their own live stream, because of their disagreement or disapproval with certain business ethics and some of the new things that are introduced into the game. Because by the time the release happens, those comments will be forgotten about. Those statements made by the creator will be forgotten about. Because like I mentioned in the video earlier today, it's not sustaining for a creator to continually bash 2K. They would eventually have to transition their content. Continuously. Keyword is continuously. That it takes precedence over the channel's character, the channel's personality. So we know that it's not sustaining. 2K should understand that although they feel this way, it's still helping to build their community. As they build their community, they're still playing the game. It's the only game they play. So, of course, they're going to influence others to continue playing the game. Come on, 2K. Get your life together, man. You know.
Crazy thing.
Huh?
I think about Agent every time I think about something like this. He had the logo. As soon as he said something negative, they took it.
If Agent lost his logo, anybody could lose their logo. If anybody
Yup.
had enough pull to say something negatively and still keep their logo, it was Agent. But 2K's pride said nobody's above the law. Short-sightedness. I think it's short-sighted to sacrifice. And I'm not saying 2K is breaking sales records left and right. They do this every single year. And it's not because they're selling more, but more so because inflation. So they make more money. If Agent can't say something poorly about the game and keep his logo, and Agent always does things in good taste, that's my personal opinion. I'm not sure if everybody agrees with that, but I think Agent has always done things in good taste, whatever opinion he was attempting to share. If he can express himself and share his ideas, and I've been watching Agent for years, and he's been always the same. Trying to, like, problem, solution. We have this problem, there's a solution. Like a perfect example. We were suffering through lag, like choppiness in 2K21, so Agent said just blur the background. So that it's not trying to pick up all the details in the background while you're in a part game. Problem was the choppiness. Solution was blur the background. It's not just to rant for no reason. 2K, we hate you. I don't know if 2K takes that personally. But I think 2K sometimes, or at least representatives of 2K, Ronnie 2K, sometimes forget how large they are. And I think when you get that big, for instance, let's see, somebody who
Oh, you know we gotta get our bill money together for City. 2K coming for him.
I don't think 2K, I think by now over these years, I think 2K kind of got it locked in. Because I've said some wild stuff over the years. Wild stories, made whole videos, wild stories, and But I think 2K just forgets how big they are. Ronnie 2K forgets how big he is. That you should never come down to the level of a YouTube content creator. One single man. You will always lose, as far as public perception. That you will always look like a loser. You will always look like a bully. If you come down to the level of one man and attempt to embarrass that one man, you will always look like a bully. And I think the good majority of the people don't like bullies.
That's what that was.
I know I don't like bullies.
My impression is that Ronnie thinks he's the big dog of the community, like he's part of the community and he runs the community.
Hey, Ronnie,
I'm up here, you're down there.
Yeah, and I don't like. I was about to get toxic too. There's some that rubs me wrong because I'll put it like this, and there's not a shot to anybody who may have had this experience growing up, because I was a dude that didn't like bullies. So I was a dude, if he picked on somebody or if bullying was happening around me, best believe I was a dude that would check the bully and tell the homie, go ahead, man. Yeah, I got this one. So what I mean to say is that I think I could be wrong. It ain't like any of us know Ronnie 2K. But I could just say he gives me the impression that he was the kid that got bullied because he doesn't know how to handle himself in a position of power. And which is why he comes down to one man's level, even though he has this whole company backing him and he's the face of the company in regards to interaction with the community. He comes down to one YouTuber's level and offers a display of power. in my opinion, only folks who have been able to openly display that power throughout their life don't need to display it as they get older. They find different ways to find that satisfaction. When you're young, in your younger days, you may want to show, your power. But as you get older, you're like, you didn't really gain much from just showcasing your power. So this dude up here who comes down to this one YouTuber's level, there's none that 2K, the homie said 2K might get me too. There's nothing to get in regards to me. There's nothing to get. You can't get my AdSense. You can't get my channel. You can't get, and there wouldn't be any reason to get me. This is what America is built on. Must I be cliche like this? Like, do I need to be? I am a grown man. Imagine another man talking about, yo, you can't say that, bro. I don't think y'all understand. Like, I am not one that's speaking this way. And then Ronnie 2K shows up and I'm like, hey, that's not me, y'all. I am not one that, speaks this way and then Ronnie 2K comes up and like, yo, can we get to take a picture? Negative. I worked for the third largest record label for damn near a decade. Met tons of stars left and right. I've never been starstruck. Never. Always approach every single star with the same, what up? All right.
Like every other normal person.
Yeah, because they are normal people. Like, what the hell? Like, they're normal people, bro. Like, so with that being said, I wasn't saying that for no reason, but with that being said, the whole point is that if you're authentic, then you have no issue speaking your mind, and it should be received as such. And I think 2K, considering how 2K has reacted to our channel, which what I mean to say is there has been no reaction to our channel. That's what I should say. Considering that there has been no reaction from 2K to our channel, the only relationship between me and 2K has been positive. That's what I can say. My experience playing the game and expressing myself has been up and down, because that's what I experienced playing 2K, up and down, up and down. But in regards to 2K reaching out to me, asking me to join this, I thought that was freaking amazing. I said, that's dope, man, because I create this content. Hey, all right, that's dope, cool. That wasn't Ronnie 2K, because I made videos about Ronnie 2K on some real weird stuff. Some real weird stuff. But that's me trolling, because Ronnie, am I wrong? Ronnie 2K just looks like he has a face that you want to troll him. I think that's what he has, the face that you want to troll him. They're like, yo, you have to troll that man, because I don't know why he has that attitude like he has. And I don't know Ronnie. I don't even know if he really got an attitude. I don't know. It just comes across that way, and I think it does to a lot of 2K folks. You got the.
I just think send him a message or something that says, "Hey, chill."
Oh, right? You think? But that's the problem here. Now let's put that in perspective. Let's say Ronnie, and this is the problem that I think someone like Ronnie 2K is in a bad position. Because let's say, appreciate you, Blaze. Let's say, for instance, Ronnie 2K sends out a message. I'll use myself so that way I don't throw names out there. Let's say I'm condemning 2K, just constantly condemning 2K. And like I said, keyword constantly. But I'm constantly making videos about 2K and I'm with them. And then Ronnie 2K sends me a message like, yo, chill, can you please not do that? some of these trolls out there will make a video about that message they received from Ronnie 2K. I think there is a different way to approach it and say, listen, and this is why contracts are so important, and it should be detailed. So that way you could just release from the contract. Yep. Detailed. You can't say this, you can't say that, you can't do that, you can't, and it's got to be long. You hire a lawyer.
Seems like, it seems like the NDA that he signed was really detailed, because you can tell Anonymous is holding certain things back because he can't talk about certain things.
Yeah, they was talking about VC purchases. I noticed Anonymous. He said he looks like a jerk for real. Ronnie, I think we could all develop our impressions of what we just see online about Ronnie 2K. You know, the fact is none of us really know Ronnie 2K. We only know his public persona. But his public persona, man. I will say this. Me and Ronnie 2K's public persona will never be friends. Never.
For real.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's facts.
It has to be an act, right? Because he reminds me of Vince McMahon back when he was playing the bad guy against Stone Cold.
Yeah. You would think it's an act.
It has to be.
In some instances, you feel like it's kind of cool that Ronnie 2K stoops down to the level of a content creator. And maybe that means that Ronnie 2K is a humble man and that he don't see himself different from other creators. But that's if Ronnie 2K was operating by himself. We all know that Ronnie 2K has the backing of 2K and operates as the face as far as the connection between the community and 2K. So from that standpoint, you can't come down all the way and then attempt to embarrass somebody or not operate in the most professional way possible. Operate in the most professional from the most professional standpoint as possible. Send out an email, send out a message, whatever way to contact somebody. Hey, homie, our non-disclosure agreement discussed this. May you please refrain from doing this type of content. That's your job done right there, and get back to 2K content. That's my whole understanding on it. Do we got any more tweets? Heck, I don't know if we do.
Yeah, there was Anonymous replying, imagine saying I changed. Anyone that watched me can tell you I've been the same before and after. That's why they mess with me.
Does anybody in the stream know Anonymous before getting a logo? Because I don't know him before getting a logo, so I'm not sure if there was change that happened to get that logo. Yeah, Mike Wang, Thomas Dunn said, I like Mike Wang because he seems like a genuine dude, but he's stuck having to do what Take-Two decides with the game. And I think that's a fair assessment until he gets... All Mike Wang needs is 2 tequilas. And 2 tequilas turns Mike Wang into Prison Mike. And that's when he goes off. So the only Mike Wang that you guys know is the sober Mike Wang. But if you ever meet Mike Wang after 2 tequilas in his system, you get Prison Mike. And that's a whole different Mike Wang. They call him Mike Bang. Prison Mike Bang. And that's a whole different Mike Wang that I don't know if a lot of you guys out there want to even attempt to meet. If you think Ronnie 2K is mean, go see Mike Wang after 2 tequilas in his system and you finna see what's popping for real.
Maybe Anonymous, it was all good at one point, and now he's feeling attacked by multiple entities and his back's against the wall. And so he's defending himself, so of course he's going to behave slightly differently. I mean, I know I would if I felt like I was being ganged up on by a corporation and someone that I think is being paid by that corporation to come at me.
That's the problem, though, and this is what this is one of the things I needed clarification on. Ron S said, "Nah, he been the same, voicing his opinion and everything." But that's the huge problem, and that's what I wanted clarification on, which is why I went to Anonymous' stream earlier today when he was dissecting the video that we dropped
Let's
today.
go, Coachy.
I wasn't sure if every one of them dudes was getting paid. What Anonymous said on his channel during his live stream is that there's only a small group of folks that are really getting a bag. Everybody else is just getting a logo. So when you're not getting paid, what is your obligation? If you're not getting paid and you brought me on, not like I said, I don't know what's in these not NDAs, but when you brought me on, I created content this way. You brought me on, which is why I'm glad
Let's go,
2K
Coachy.
we never connected in that way. But if you brought me on and I created my content this way, Poor Boy Sin, by the way, has something different to say. He said that Poor Boy Sin's tweet said that Anonymous changed up to get the logo. And then after he got the logo, he went back to ranting. I don't know how true that is. The homies say, nah, that's not true. After seeing Anonymous's character, I would probably lean toward the idea that that's untrue as well, but I don't know. Some folks, have personality disorders. They do whatever.
It also don't make sense. If you change to get the logo, wouldn't you just continue that facade to keep the logo? Like, why would you just relinquish it?
That's another good point, bro. Like, why would you work so hard to get the logo and then go off ranting? They might have just been homies, so say anything about them is personal, and that's crossing the line, which kind of justify him spazzing. I've known Anonymous before his logo. I say give Mike Wang 2 drinks and a microphone, then step back and watch the chaos fall where it may. Oh man, I gotta tell you, man, hella interesting stuff, man. When you consider what folks deem proper content to create when you sign that agreement. This has been going on. What was the other homie that put? What was the young wild dude that within the last couple of years he grew tremendously big and he put 2K on blast? Skinny white dude.
Aiden Ross?
Yeah, there you go. Aiden Ross. Yeah.
I mean, he blew up beyond. I mean, he's like one of the biggest content creators out there right now. After he left 2K, that was the best thing that happened to him, them taking his logo.
And he put them on blast during that process.
Mm-hmm.
So you could take that bag and shove it up your beep boom bum.
I mean, 21 was a nightmare, bro. Like, come on.
You know how many videos I made about 21 talking about that was the trashiest mess ever.
2K can't be thin-skinned about 21. That was just all around. Even they admitted it in their blog, even though they try to say, "Oh yeah, we did this and that." Oh man,
Dreamville said he ain't never been like that. Been watching him way before the logo. He been keeping it real, but I guess he keeping it too real lately. There's no too real. There's no too real, man. As long as you being maybe there is too real, because he was even saying this during his live stream. Like he said, I don't talk like you, old city, with your smooth voice. He had me laughing. But he don't know me too well when I get upset. Some of the homies like we're in that you hear talking, they've witnessed some of the stuff that because they've been here a long time. But I mainly do try to keep it calm. But I'm never one, especially on live stream, to be just wilding out and cursing up a storm left and right. I always try to keep things in good taste. And maybe that's what's rubbing folks the wrong way, and they're willing to part ways and embarrass somebody. Because that's what I don't like is the embarrassment. I don't like the public, like, I don't like the initial tweet that was sent out to publicly address how somebody was creating content. And then I don't like wanting to separate and part ways, knowing that a NDA was breached and you could easily just part ways. But instead, you come to the person's live stream and ask them to close app to attempt to embarrass them. Things I just don't like.
That was a slap to the face from Poor Boy Sin, slap to the face from Ronnie, and a slap to the face from everybody who's talking negative to him.
So what about this? Deshaun said the issue is I think that 2K needs legitimate competition. Facts. I think that's the problem too.
Yep,
what about this?
No
2K,
go,
they said that because it's not only Poor Boy. From what I understand, there's a bunch of, and I mean this at no disrespect. I just making this reference to anybody who may be one of the people who. I hear that 2K is sending goons out.
Yeah.
Sending the Goonies out. So there's a lot of creators that are jumping down folks who disagree with some of the things that 2K has done.
There was an incident, right, like shortly after, where he said that stage is rookie difficulty sliders. And it's a known fact that the stage sliders are easier than park sliders.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's still, that's where the comp plays. He was just saying, if it's real comp, and make it Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? That if you want to reign as the top dogs of comp. And there was a logo head that came after him saying, you've been super negative recently, and people make the league off of doing stage and this and that, and there's another person that is a logo head. So he's thinking, like, did okay put the APB to all logo heads, like,
Mm-hmm.
extra, maybe we'll, make your logo half the size bigger if you get this guy to shut up, or if you take this guy down. Like, it's interesting,
It really is interesting because not everybody operates as cautiously as I do. And I wouldn't say cautiously. I just say operate from a place of respect. What I give someone is what I expect in return. So I'm cautious of what I give other people. That way, in other words, if I meet a new dude right now, right? Say I get introduced to somebody and I say, "What the F is going on?" Give him the pound. You my effing homie and this and that. That means that I open the door for him to talk to me very similarly, because that's how I approached him. Nah, everything is a curse word, this, that. And then he catch me on a bad day. And he said, "Yo, what the F is your problem?" And he's thinking that we're just connecting in the way in which we talk. But you don't know. You don't want to tell me on a bad day what the F is your problem, because then I'm going to press you. So I think that's the issue here, is that folks end up opening these doors. And I just make sure that when you're conducting yourself a certain way, make it so that folks understand how they address you. So, for instance, this live stream thing, right? That Anonymous just had this live stream. Salute to Anonymous, by the way, again. When I was making the video earlier today, and I dropped it, I understood watching the video that it could be received poorly, or it could be received good. And I'm talking about from both. Anonymous, all three. Ronnie, Anonymous, and Poor Boy. So I understand how folks, if they want to crash out, they could perceive this video a certain way. And, the chips fall where they may. I got that idea. I'm grateful that folks had the presence of mind to hear what I was saying. And I've been grateful that the 2K community has had the presence of mind to hear what I'm saying and read between the lines as opposed to just crashing out on me. That's been my continuous and constant experience with this channel. Folks just feel it. And I think that's more so because you guys had an opportunity to build a relationship with me. You guys have had years to see me on live stream. You guys have had years to see that I just personally don't crash out. And if I'm speaking about something, especially like today, other than 2K per se, and I'm speaking about individuals or an individual circumstance, then it's something that's gonna mainly be constructive, and it's never to put people down. That's never my intention. Always empower other creators, especially. So I'm glad that folks were able to read between the lines and see that there was something more to what I was saying. And I'm glad that Anonymous received it in that way. Because now, the relationship is taken to a new level. The relationship between me and other content creators, the relationship between me and other viewers. He ended up doing a live stream dissecting and reacting to this video. So now a good portion of his community will now know who we are here in this community. That's linking communities together. And that's what this thing is all about. And this is why I felt like it's short-sighted of 2K to just condense somebody who shares their opinion, good, bad, or indifferent. It's short-sighted of 2K because this is part of what builds communities. This is part of what brings people together. So for instance, let's give an example. Anonymous, right? Having this 1 week, say he's just going off about 2K. Let's say this, for instance. 1 week, Anonymous is just going off about 2K. I don't like this and I don't like that, especially now that they're dropping information about 2K23. But surely, as Anonymous would admit, we're still going to play the game because everything is rooted in the foundation. And the foundation is that we love 2K. So although I'm riffing and a lot of folks came into my live stream or watched my video riffing about 2K, we built some common ground. They end up liking me because I shared my opinion. But then, 3 weeks later, I'm playing 2K. Now you're part of my community and we're playing 2K, sharing our likes and dislikes about the game. That builds the community, in turn builds the following for 2K. One hand wash the other. Your following now becomes a part of the 2K following. You can't be short-sighted, especially when you're so large. When you're something like 2K, it's unnecessary to be short-sighted. And I can almost guarantee you their business dealings with larger companies are not done in this way. So don't conduct business with small content creators in comparison to 2K. Don't conduct business in this way. It doesn't seem like it's a good look. We don't really have a choice but to love 2K because we don't really have another choice. Aiden Ross exposing 2K. Double J, what up, man? But I think folks are forgetting there's a reason why we don't have a choice. Malibu's most Malibu's most wanted. I think folks forget that there's a reason why 2K is the only game. When I was coming up, there was multiple games for every single sport. Football, multiple games. Baseball, multiple games. Basketball, multiple games. Soccer, hockey, multiple games to choose from. 2K came on the scene and in 2 decades eliminated all of the competition. You had street ball games trying to get off the ground, negative. 2K said we taking that too. Competition, so much so a large company like EA thinks that they're going to release a free-to-play game. Why? Because they lost a huge following. So EA says we're going to release a free-to-play game this year. And the NBA butts in. And this, as per Brian Mazik, sports writer for Forbes.com. The NBA steps in and says, nah, you can't release no free-to-play game because that's going to affect the sales of NBA 2K games. And disbanded the whole team. Or got the whole team disbanded.
You got to say, like, 2K is business partners with the NBA and the 2K League. Like, they have a business venture that the NBA would love to protect. You know, like out you have like the pre-order. You had NBA League Pass. You think that that's 2K's doing? No, NBA gave them that.
Mm-hmm.
So they are very close with the NBA. How many other basketball games can we get if the NBA is siding with 2K? You're gonna have to make a totally imaginary basketball game that has no NBA players, no NBA backing. I mean,
Bring back
you do it.
on the streets.
You could do it, but it's pretty hard. Like if you don't have those things. I remember one year there was a Madden with no real team names on Nintendo 64. It was all fake teams. They didn't have the NFL license, and it felt like you were playing a bootleg game. Like you, you know what I mean?
I remember that game.
It's facts. You know, I understand. Let's put this in perspective. If there's a game out there, no NBA players, but you get the exact same city with the exact 2K mechanics, like as far as how everything functions, badge systems, things like this in place, the game looks amazing, but there is no NBA players. You cannot choose an NBA shot. And I'm going to help you guys. I'm going to give you guys clear perspective as to why we don't see this happen. Gaming in itself, for investors to invest in gaming, it's really high risk. When investors invest in gaming's or games backed by like Major League, backed by the NBA, it becomes lower risk. So if a new company attempts to come out and say, well, we got this game that's going to look exactly like 2K, everything will play better. Everything will play very similar, if not better. It's hard to get those investors to commit to that investment. One, especially with 2K monopolizing the genre. But two, there's no backing. So 2K, they could get NBA stars to push and market the game. That's something that 2K has at their disposal. Get 2K stars to get on the covers of these games. Without that cover, it's hard to push those sales, even though the game could be the most amazing thing possible. You could have the smartest, just best creator, developer out there. But investors are not going to be able to push that. And then marketing is going to be a tough deal. And then not to mention what 2K would do to a smaller company trying to take some of their sales. It's a brutal environment. Brutal environment to consider coming up under 2K. It'll take the merger of three larger companies to come up with something that already has three larger companies that already have a following, that their word stands for something. They have to merge and create this one game to not even take them off, but to just slide them over a little bit. NFL 2K, in my opinion, NFL 2K was better than Madden. It was one of the best football games, in my opinion, ever. I don't know what you guys think about that.
People still play the last one. Like, there's a community that still play the last NFL 2K. They just edit the game and
Tech Mobile.
They're keeping it going.
Yep. That joint was amazing, man. That joint was amazing. The mechanics felt crazy. It was like when we received 2K and we were playing NBA Live at that time. You were playing NBA Live and you were super happy with NBA Live. But when you pop that Dreamcast on and you turned on 2K, as boxy as it looks now when we look back at it, that joint looked like the most amazing thing ever. That's how NFL 2K looked when it dropped. Even though we had Madden going strong. So I'm saying, the reason why I'm bringing that up, because it's a very real idea that it could happen, that there's other developers out there that are capable of making a way better basketball game. The difference is the politics behind the scenes that won't let it happen. The difference is the politics behind the scenes that won't let investors invest, or limit the idea of investors, or, there's just too high risk for investors to believe that you could create a better game. So let's invest in you. Look at what happened with Cyberpunk. This idea behind these games sounds great, and there's developers out there who could create something way more amazing, but it's just high risk, and it takes a lot of money to make these things happen. 2K been around for so long. Give you guys another thing here. Call of Duty operates on servers that have to have like a millisecond response time. If you're 2 milliseconds off, dude comes around the corner, you're gone. We've gotten so accustomed to 2K servers that this delay and this latency from game mode to game mode, pro-am, rec, park, like all different timing for your shot, drill moves, motion, sliding, all these different things, operating on smaller servers than a Call of Duty. But Call of Duty, larger servers, more players, 100 times better response time. 2K and all their money releasing these annual releases and still get this slow response time that we as a community has just grown accustomed to. I think what I'm getting at here is that there's a stronghold for a reason. Seems like there's a long play happening where 2K I think they have everything that they could make happen. In other words, if somebody magically came up with a absolutely amazing basketball game, we'll see 2K pull all their tricks out of the hat. And you'll see the best 2K ever. I think 2K got like a 10 to 15 year plan where they intend to slowly roll out everything that they already have at their disposal. And that's just slow because there's no competition. There's nobody there that they need to roll it out now. Why do that and then have to think of new things, 2 or 3 years from now? Nah, we'll extend it. 10 years. Right, we got 10 years worth of stuff that we finna roll out. Half of that stuff is stuff that we had from the previous 10 years. So wild, man. Super dope stuff. Heck, do we have more?
Yeah, there was a Sin reply. He says, "Bruh, know what I mean? I ain't going to get in deep. I'm just giving you heads up, especially if you want that logo back in 23. Hey, who am I to take it negatively? I ain't your EITCH. I'm gonna give you tough love cause I F with you, not cuddle you." Okay.
I can't help. I get strong feelings inside because I don't like to hear stuff like that. Another man telling another man this and I give you tough love, homie. And again, this is not for me to start 2K23 with some bad vibes. I think if the homie Poor Boy was in front of me, baby, I think we could find some common ground. And I think he was trying to express that to Anonymous, saying, I was just saying. And I think Anonymous saying, who are you to just say? And I think that's where, the buck stops. And it's just like, you was just saying, who are you to just say? I'm grown, B. Who are you? I think with that understanding in mind, folks would be like, you're right, I was tripping. And the homie was like, yeah, my bad too. I didn't, I didn't mean to come at you like that, but you shouldn't have came at me like that. And then boom, right back to 2K. So behind closed doors, we could do this. So why do it publicly? That's my whole thing. Why do it publicly?
And the crazy thing it's the way you said it.
Mm-hmm.
If you were trying to help me out, you came at me like you were my dad. Nah.
Of course, any grown man is gonna find that disrespectful. Any grown man, they're gonna be like, "Yo, homie, I'm supposed to call you Unc or something, Dad. What's supposed to happen?" Much love, Joshua. Appreciate you.
I need my child support then.
Yeah, so you don't come at another man like that. Yo, nah, I'm just trying to give you tough love. Yeah, I think it was some kid type of stuff to ease up. But again, I think they both. This is where pride comes in. We all know pride comes before the fall. That's a guaranteed thing. But this is where pride comes in, where the disrespect was already made when there was a public statement released. And we're not talking about public where one person has 10 followers and the other person has 3 followers, like some of these lames who try to put us on blast. But and by the way, all of this is cap, none of this is real. But you know, if 10 followers and 3 followers is very different from thousands of followers. When you have that type of following, you got to be cautious with whose name that you're typing up, because it may not be received well, even if you have the best intentions. You could have the best intentions and you may not have thought you said anything wrong. And that's why had it been me, all of this would have been handled very differently, because I would have known that it was the best intentions. But homie, you don't call me out, bro. That would have been instant DM response. Homie, listen, I get it if you had the best intentions. As a matter of fact, you tell me if your intentions were good. That's how I would probably respond. Before I give my clear-cut response, tell me if you sent this out with good intentions. And then we could continue the conversation from there. And if you say to me, I say, homie, I sent it with the best intentions. All right, then we can have a conversation. Homie, I know you had good intentions, but don't send no public tweet out. Homie, you got tons of followers. And we're in the same community. You sending me a tweet, of course it's going to get the community riled up. Nah, am I tripping?
It's going to basically be like 2 armies going against each other.
Then you got our fan bases going at each other, saying, nah, he's right and he's wrong. Nah, B. Yeah, human perception can be a tricky thing.
Anonymous said that he took it easy with poor boy because they both have mutual friends, right? So,
okay.
Like, even then, he was just like, kind of playing it light because he wanted to keep it amicable as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But
he could have got ignorant with it.
I mean, he could have got much worse with it. So I mean,
that they got pretty bad. I was really shocked when I saw that video from Brutal Sim. By the way, I got the video of Brutal Sim covering all of this. I got it in the description of this live stream, so you guys could just click into the description. I'm pretty sure the link is there. I could be, matter of fact, I think I put, damn. Go check out Brutal Sim's video, by the way, if you haven't. It may not be in the description. I think I put Anonymous TV link in the description. But he covers all these tweets, and it got pretty bad. They got pretty disrespectful. I say, like I said, like I started the video earlier, I say, hey, none of this should have happened publicly. That's why I said, if it had been me, I would instantly checked in and said, homie, you meant that with good intention? And then when you tell me, yeah, I meant it with good intention, then I could tell you why it wasn't received with good intention, and then we could go from there.
Let's go, Coachy.
Nothing the conversation can't take care of.
Nothing. Yeah, nothing to conversate. You know, some ignorant folks, and I made a statement as well. I think I'm not sure if Anonymous got this confused when I was watching the live stream. I made a few statements that may have been confused. One was talking about knockout. If you see me wilding out on stream talking about somebody, if you see me, then more, because there's been over the years, there's been some folks that IRL they can't walk up to me. Over the years, I've come across those people. Not that I want that to happen, but they can't come up to me in IRL and say, "Oh, what up, City?" Negative, Coachy, and I doubt they would. There's some folks out there. So I had brought up this idea that if I'm wilding out on stream or in a video, if I'm wilding and I'm tight, you see me uptight, and I'm speaking about somebody directly, best believe that's the same type of energy I'll have IRL. And I was speaking from general terms, not to say one man is acting tough. That was not my intention. I think Anonymous may have misconceived the message that I was trying to get across. Because I think if you guys may know better than me. Maybe you know Anonymous better than me. But he comes across, especially the way in which he received the video I made, he comes across as an understanding person or somebody who's willing to kind of receive information before just crashing out. He seemed like a stand-up dude, head on his shoulder. Same with Poor Boy Sin. Both seem like stand-up dudes. So neither one of these boys or these men are crashing out, I should say. I don't want to disrespect nobody by calling them boys. So it's not in their general practice to crash out. So when I mention being this way, if it's not in your general practice to crash out, then don't crash out. That's what I'm getting at. This is why I ended the video saying, we got 2 ears, 1 mouth. Listen before you speak, and you should listen way more often than you speak. So that way you could properly address concerns that come in your way. Who's saying that? Poor Boy. All right, Poor Boy saying that to me. All right, homie, I get it. You probably had good intention, but I definitely don't like the way you came at me. I'll probably address him. Not saying that anybody else should, but I personally would probably address him in a DM. Who knows? Like I said, my 30-year-old self probably would have operated very similar to the way Anonymous operated. That's my 30-year-old self, but I'm far removed from that. So I get it. I get both sides. Homie thought, I don't know how old is Poor Boy. I don't know how old he is. Maybe he sees Anonymous as the young homie. But this dude's my age that I call, they could be a year younger than me. I treat almost everybody younger than me. Almost everybody. Not that I disrespect them, but almost everybody. Because most folks don't have the mentality. What's up, little one? Most folks just don't have the mentality. Even if they are very close in age. They have very young minds. So maybe Poor Boy was looking at it from that perspective, and he was trying to tell him, I'm trying to give you tough love. And he sees him as a young man. Could that be the case? Could that be it? That's where he was operating from? Swante in the building. He did same with me years ago. And we supposed... Ooh. Swante in the building said, are you talking about Poor Boy? He said he did the same with me years ago. And we supposed to be cool. So there's an habitual thing. And there was no pun intended by that statement. So there's a habit. Swante is really interesting too, by the way. I've been watching Swante. I haven't watched in recent time, but during my time on 2K, it was Swante, one of the leading figures in the 2K community. And it's really interesting to see. I think Swante is a perfect example of folks who think that they can convince another man on how to create the content as if they don't have ownership of their channels, have ownership of their communities, and other men thinking that they know what's best for you and everything you've invested into your community and growing that community. And they come in on the back end after you've done created your whole following. Everybody want to know what's right or wrong. Everybody want to know what's good or bad for another man. I personally don't have time to invest thought so heavily into creating judgment or opinions into how another man conducts his business. It's a sensitive topic. When you invest a huge part of yourself, is a tremendously sensitive topic to tell another man what he should or shouldn't do.
It's different if he came and asked you for advice.
Mm-hmm.
But for you just to do that, nah.
Yeah, you don't do that, B. That's a known thing, though. That ain't nothing new. That's nothing new. I mean, we by the way, if you're new to the channel, you're new to the stream, consider joining our Discord. Type !Discord in the chat if you would like to join. Pulling up on 22,000 members in there. But I reference our Discord often because we've had so many ups and downs dealing with different personalities left and right. But still, what's maintained steady is just lead with respect, get respect. That's what maintains steady. That's how we ended up with the group that we have now. As far as leading the way, leading the community. The group that we have now, solid. Not to say that other folks weren't solid, just different. You get what I'm saying? And I could care less if anybody takes offense to that. If you felt different, yeah, sometimes, for some of the folks, I'm saying different for you to take offense. You different. You special. That's how I'm saying it. Well, it be like that sometimes, man. It be like that. You come from different cultures. I grew up in New York, right? And some of the homies from New York, y'all could probably vouch for this. I grew up in the Lower East Side of New York.
Let's go, coach.
Right? Hey, Air Stampede, appreciate you, man. Appreciate the sub. Shout out to Air Stampede. But I grew up in New York, right? It's 5 boroughs. Staten Island don't really count, but it is. No shot at Staten Island. I know there's some real. Anyway, 5 boroughs. I'm in the Lower East Side. From the Lower East Side to Harlem, like I could pinpoint a Harlem dude. Lower East Side to Harlem. I could pinpoint a Brooklyn dude. I could pinpoint dude from the BX. Queens especially, I could pinpoint you. We all could do that for each other. We all could do that. We all could say, not dudes from Queens. Some people be like, dudes from Queens. Some people be like, dudes from the BX. Some people be like, you know what I mean? And I'm saying we're all in New York City, but bear with me here, y'all. Bear with me so you get some understanding what I'm saying here. We all from the same city. Outside of this city, we represent this one city, but just in boroughs alone, within those boroughs, we could tell the different personalities, different upbringing, different culture from those boroughs within this city. So how is it that we're not going to find tremendous differences from folks' states, like straight 10 states or across country? Totally different upbringing, totally different culture. Sure, you may be black, this person may be black, this person may be Puerto Rican, this person may be Puerto Rican. Sure, you may have ethnically be the same. But culture plays a huge part in this stuff. Understanding what's right or wrong. What's right or wrong to Anonymous may not be right or wrong to Poor Boy. We already know what's right or wrong to Ronnie 2K is wrong to everybody else in the world. So, all excuse to kick somebody while you're down. He said Staten Island don't count that. So I'd say salute to you, man. Appreciate you being here, man. But he helps give us some perspective Swante saying facts is too much public disrespect, all an excuse to kick someone while they're down. And that's never it's you never step on someone to get a step ahead. Point blank, period, man. There's too much room in this game to move ahead without even mentioning someone else. But the need to step on someone to get a step ahead, point one finger, there's going to be 10 pointed right back at you. These are just life lessons, y'all. These are just basic rules. And they're timeless. They ain't never going to change. You point a finger, within a week, there'll be 5 more pointed back at you. You step on someone to get a step ahead, within a year, someone's stepping on you to step over your head. These are life lesson, basic rules, and if you live by them, you operate a particular way. And you won't have so much trouble. There won't be things lost in translation. And I think in this particular instance, things were lost in translation. Perfect example. The initial tweet that was sent out was lost in translation if it was indeed true that poor boy did it with good intentions. If that was fact, then it was lost in translation. In other words, the way in which Anonymous received it wasn't translated well. It was lost in translation. But if folks just operated with these basic rules, this basic rule set of respect, let me think real quick. Let me holler at the homie in a DM. Because I got a huge following and I'm not trying to put his name on blast. He just lost his logo. I'm not trying to put his name on blast. Same with Anonymous. Anonymous could have said, I know the dude's wildin', trying to address me publicly. How should I handle this? Again, my 30-year-old self probably would have operated very similar. In hindsight, you operate this way because you're thinking the long game. I'm not finna burn this bridge publicly. Let me think long game. We know if I have my own personal opinion about someone who operates like poor boy, I'll keep that personal opinion to myself and use what I can out of the relationship, especially if I deemed it already ultimate levels of disrespect. We playing chess here, not checkers, y'all. Let's play chess. Salute to, the creators. There's a long game, y'all. It wasn't too long ago that I was at 2K19, 2K20. Yeah, the homies that are here with me. Somebody, if y'all could remind me, when poor boy was going through a ton of drama, I think it was the legend race.
Yep.
It was the legend race, right?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't. It's from Staten Island. Heard your comment and fell on the floor laughing. That's funny. But it wasn't too long ago that poor boy was suffering a ton of heat as well during that legend race. And I gotta say, I was happy to see him climb out of that. I was happy because I like to see the homies, especially you invest a lot of yourself. If you're a content creator, you know what it takes. It's a huge investment. Your time, mental, emotional, all that stuff is a huge investment. So I like to see dudes win, which is why you'll never see me kick somebody when they're down. You'll never see that happen. But again, that brings the reference back to the 5 boroughs in New York City. If within the same city, we can see tremendous cultural differences, imagine the differences that we're trying to translate states apart, different cities, different upbringings. And we're trying to translate this in an online experience sent out via tweet. That's what I just mean to say. Just take a step back, y'all. Step back. If it was sent out, this is putting on blast. It's disrespectful. We don't know the intentions. Clear up the intentions. Holler at the man. And if after you holler at him, the way I see it, and to each their own, but after you get the holler, you handle yourself with the ultimate level of respect first. So for me, I handle it with the ultimate level of respect first, with the intention. Now hear this out, y'all, because this is how grimy I be getting sometimes. You may see me send out a DM to respond to that public display, and I already feel ultimately disrespected. So you may see me respond to you via DM, but that's just to uphold my end of the bargain and maintain my integrity for when I crash out on you. That's all that is. Homie, I just wanted to put this in the bank and said, I tried it this way, so now when we crash, we could crash. But you always have that in your back pocket and say, like I said, we playing chess, B. So I always have this in my back pocket. You know, some of the grimiest people are hella successful. Lawyers. Not knocking every single lawyer out there, but I'm just mean to say we know that folks got a tough job.
Let's go,
You gotta
coachy.
operate a certain way. You know, the main basis behind this is just, hey, man, you know, things get lost in translation and some things are outright blatant. Sometimes it is what it is. Play chess, my G's. Play chess. If it's a long game, no, 2K, by the time, trust this, I'm super happy that you guys were here to hear me talk about this thing for damn near 2 hours. It's crazy. I didn't even know I had this much to say about it, but I guess I haven't connected with y'all for so long. It feels good. But it could be setting up, like the homie said, Double J said, it could be a huge wager scheme. It could be. And if it is, that'll be such a beautiful thing. And matter of fact, Poor Boy Sin and Anonymous, y'all should be working on setting up that wager ASAP. Get that bag. Don't hate each other or hate each other, what each other are doing. And I'm not saying that they are hating each other. I don't think they have hate in their heart in regards to something so minor. But make some come of it. If it's something that can happen, make something come of it. Get a bag. Mind you, 2K is getting paid regardless. We need to make sure we getting paid as well. Was there any other tweets? I don't think there was, right?
Let's see. Yeah. This was anonymous, kind of. No. He said, "I support Poor Boy Online, no matter what our tweets may say. The black man that loves his kids and is great at gaming. Can't nobody tell me how to feel about the company I spend thousands with."
That's a good point, man, because it's like, and because of that tweet in particular, because of that tweet, that's what had me like, you telling me that these dudes don't even get a free copy of 2K? These dudes in the program don't even get a free copy of 2K? Like, damn, Brody. You're not even going to give me a free copy of 2K, but you want me to change the way in which I create content, or I can't even express myself about the product that I purchased? I will be damned. You go tell me I can't say something about something I bought with my money. Go ahead, try to tell me. Go ahead, chat, test me. Try and tell me something about a product that I spent my money on, that I worked to make. And this is why I feel like, you know, this is why I express myself the way I do about the game that I play and from my experience. Because I pay for it. I'm paying for the VC. I'm paying for the bills. I'm paying. And it's me investing my time to create content. It's me on this live stream. It's me working with y'all, building up the Discord, building up our community on YouTube, on Twitch, on TikTok. A big portion of this thing is me investing myself. So who's going to tell me what about how I work to create dialogue with the community that I built? and the great people that are involved with maintaining it. You can't do that. You can't do that. And I think from the big brother perspective, if you that relationship has to be established on both ends. One man can't just decide I'm gonna be the big brother unless there's a foundation built upon it. But obviously there was no foundation built to play big brother. The fact that he mentioned his kids just means they mans. He had to air this out publicly. Some people are just company men, company slaves. Just look at the console wars on Twitter. Let me just report that. I don't know, these weird dating things just come into the stream. Man, such an awesome stream, man. I know y'all would like to keep this going on for a long time. I was gonna play it off. I said nah, because we ended up covering a lot, man. Go check out Anonymous live stream. He did a whole reaction to our video. It was like really long because I was watching it for about an hour and a half. But I have the link in the description below. Also check out Brutal Sim. If you guys are lost in regards to what happened between Poor Boy and Anonymous, Brutal Sim on his channel has a video explaining all the tweets and the back and forth. I don't understand your vid from all the pauses. All right, so let's go over it. I'll go over it. Shout out to Swante. I'm glad you said that, Swante, because I saw your comments in Anonymous's live stream. But yeah, we could go over it. Nah, you good. We'll go over it. Swante. So we're gonna go over this. Because like I said, it's very easy to get things lost in translation. Yeah, I know. You didn't understand it because you kept pausing it. Yeah, I get it. So you couldn't get the like full scope of what I was attempting to display here. And I will just say this straight off rip. What I do when I saw like the video from Brutal Sim, my initial reaction, and there's, considering my initial thoughts, is just, it leans toward Anonymous feeling. But then I start to think, oh, you understand everything now. Okay, you understand. All right, cool. Yeah. I'm glad you came through, though. All right, I got you. So we don't have to go over it. Yeah, I'm glad you was able to get some clarity on that, Swante. And I appreciate you coming through here, too. Because I was looking at your comments. I'm like, Swante, wow. All right. I said, all right, Swante, I see you, bro.
Shout out to
See, I'm gonna have to send out a tweet talking about how to make content. Like, you shouldn't do that, Swante. Oh man, Swante was the first person. To curse out every single viewer that watched any of his videos. And if you weren't good enough, he made you feel worse. Yeah, I used to be like, how the hell does he do that, B? How the hell does he get away with that, bro? But it worked. It worked, and I think that's a tribute to what it is when men stick to their guns, and I think that's a tribute to you don't listen to what another man tells you on how to create your content, how to do what you invest your time into it. Especially coming in on the back end after the community and following has already been developed. So salute to you, Swante. Salute to Anonymous. Salute to Poor Boy. I think folks need to make the best out of this situation. And I think, this is going to blow over. It is going to blow over. We just making content right now talking about the situation. But by the time 2K23 release, all this is going to blow over. And if it don't blow over, hopefully you could take it out in a wager. That'd be super dope for the community. The community would love to see that. Oh, what up, lovely channel? What's going on? Swante and Young Defiant might be related. Hey, that's the wrap for me, man. We're going on 2 hours in. I didn't even expect to be on this long. I appreciate everything y'all do for the channel. Appreciate everyone who tuned in. I will catch y'all tomorrow. We'll do it all over again. You all have a safe and blessed rest of your night.